Hare Krishna. So, if you have books, open the introduction page where we have that prayer. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Kadamayam Dadantim Sampadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yukta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savabhutam Parijana Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanja Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhasya Cha Kripa Sindhu Bhavacha Patita Nam Pavinebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna. So welcome you all again. So we are reading from Bhagavad Gita chapter number 5 and shlok number, we are going to cover 3 shloks, 4, 5, 6, or maybe if possible 7 also. So part of the chapter 5 is what we learn so far in chapter 5 is Karma Yoga, action in Krishna consciousness. And at the same time, our topic is how we can detached, what practice we should be performing so that we can detach from uh, uh, detach from the material bhautik jagat and attached to the spiritual world. So how to perform our duties without attachment. That is the something we will learn from this topic also, because it's talking about the karma yoga. And the karma yoga is, we also learn karma yoga in our chapter number 3, where primarily we are focused on what are our duties. So the challenge for the Arjuna was, he's a Kshatriya, and he was Kshatriya, and he was giving the many reasons not to fight. But at the same time, Krishna was trying to explain to him that because you are more attached to the bodily thing, which is very unnecessary, is not needed. And Krishna is saying that how come these impurities coming into your mind to not to perform your duties, right? He doesn't want to perform your duties because he was attached to, when he starts seeing his Bhishma Pitama, his teacher, and many brothers and relatives on the other side of the war, then he said that how I can kill them and enjoy these things, right? So that was his dilemma. Similarly, we are in this Kali Yuga, in this Bhautik Jagat, we are also in the same kind of dilemma. We don't want to perform our duties because of lot of attachment. So this attachment is causing lot of miseries. There are 3 miseries we discussed earlier, but these miseries is caused. Again, in the chapter 3, Krishna was talking about all these attachments and these desires is caused because of lust. And the lust is not only related with the bodily lust, there are lust of many things which cause the problem in our day-to-day activities. As Prabhupada mentioned in one of the purport in chapter 3 is, when the living entity come in contact with the material creations, his eternal love for Krishna is transformed into lust. In association with the mode of passion, Or in the other word, the sense of the love of God become transformed into that lusty desires. As the milk in contact with the sour tamarind, the nimbu pani, right? So when we put the some nimbu pani in the milk, what happen? That transform into the yogurt or paneer or the things. The transform is happening. So similarly, when we born in this material world, we are connecting with the different entities, which will transform ourselves into the different kind of modes, different kind of our desires. And what Prabhupada is mentioning is then again, when the lust is unsatisfied, what it will happen? It's turned into the wrath. The wrath is transformed into the illusions. When the person is in illusion, it will continue into the material existence. What happen is, when you are in illusion, you completely lost your intelligence and the knowledge. And during that stage, you will have angerness and your desires. When, if you know, when any child is looking for some toys, right? If he is not able to get that toys, what is his intention? He will try to crawl into this one. He will show his whatever the level best to get that. Correct. So he will show angerness. He will show all kind of the tandomness, and he will roll into the जमीन में लेट जाते हैं. सब तरीके की activity he will perform to get that one. So this we are talking about the child. Now, how about ourselves as an adult? When we are in illusions, when we are in the angerness, what we will do? We will try our best to get that thing. So if we didn't get that one, we will still have angerness. And angerness is the, as Krishna mentioned, angerness is one of the mode to get into the hellish life. Lust, anger, and desires. Lust, anger, greed. Prabhupada mentioned multiple times, Krishna mentioned multiple times in the Bhagavad Gita, lust, anger, greed. These are the three things. If you have these three things in your bucket, in your अपनी आदतों में ये तीन चीजें हैं, तो हम लोग मान के चल सकते हैं कि we are eligible to go to the hellish life. These are prime indications also. So sometime, not the sometime, many time I also ask our Guru Maharaj and my Siksha teacher that what are the symptoms I should notice in myself that I'm progressing in my spiritual path. So these are the some of the qualities we need to evaluate within ourselves, that do I have angerness? Do I have lust? Do I have greed? If these three things are there, then I'm eligible to go to a hellish life. Right? And in the Shastra says that going to the hellish life is not easy actually. Going to the spiritual life is more easier. You have to perform literally something which is going to cause the problem. And Krishna will sanction, okay, let's move this person to hellish life. So similarly, we are talking about this lust in the Karma Yoga chapter in chapter 3. And now the Krishna is mentioning here in the Karma Yoga action in Krishna consciousness. How we can perform our duties. What pure activities I should perform so that without having the attachment. This is what the learning lesson for everyone. And if we start knowing that, like agar hum log we are preparing for some exams, let's see, in India world, we know the IAS exam and or IIT exams, or these exams are tough. But if we have the right teachers, right process in place, and we know that I am on that thing, when you are start solving the problem in your home, like in the test example or the previous papers, then you will start feeling the confidence. Oh, I'm easily resolve it. Then your confidence level be okay. I'm on the right path. I got the right teacher. I have the right material. So this we are trying to achieve IAS officers or the different chartered accountant exam. These are the toughest in our India world. I know CAT exam is very difficult. But if you have the right person, right knowledge, right guidance, right mentor, then one stage you will start feeling that one, I am on the right track. So similarly in our spiritual path also, as we learn in our chapter 4 that Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadeshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshina. What that means is we need to have a spiritual teacher. There is no way. Maybe in the material world you will get the material, you will get the some YouTube videos, or maybe you will go to all over the places to get the information. Now in the chat GPT world, you can ask our Alexa, Siri, this or that. Okay, what is the answer for this one? You in the tip of this, you will get that one. But in the spiritual world, is you need to have a guru. Once you will have a guru and you will take the full shelter of the guru, then what will happen? One stage you will start analyzing and you will have that realizations that I'm on the right path. My guru is my tattva darshina, and he already saw the truth, which is the absolute truth. He know that who is the Lord, who is the God, who is the Father, who is the seed giving Father. So he will guide you accordingly. But now there is no randomly you will pick, okay, this verse is one guru. The guru has to be in the parampara, who follow the Shastras, who follow in the our Sanatan Dharma, in the Gaudiya thing, or in our parampara of Prabhupada already gave in the Bhagavad Gita. All the parampara, we should connect to that parampara, because if you want to become a doctor, right, then you will get into the medical college, and the professor who is going to teach, he already learned from the same college, because he learned from another doctor. So similarly, whatever you are going to learn, you are learning from your senior and senior who are in the same cycle. You cannot just randomly pick one college and it's not affiliated, and someone just open with a very fancy decorations. That's not the true knowledge. That's what the Shastra says. So we need to be careful to pick the guru, to pick the Shastras, and similarly, the guru will evaluate that he is the right candidate, he is the right disciple to do this one. So these are some of the reference before we will jump into the today's topic is how to perform the duties without attachment. So guru is the one who will guide you how to do it. But in our words, uh, because we are in material world, we all know that one, because we have to work and we have to earn. We need to get the money to pay the bill, utility, and everything. There are so many things that karma activity has to be there. But there is some very thin line, and as we discussed in the last class also, the thin line is what is good enough so that I cannot be too much of greedy or attached to the same thing. That's where we need to identify it. Everyone has different level of things. Like let's pick myself, or I like, okay, rasgulla. But rasgulla itself, if I eat one, I will feel the taste and things. And the rasgulla I'm talking about, which offered to the Lord and came to me, I ate one, I like it, and I ask for one more, then I like it. Then three, again I like it. When he's saying, okay, now you are eating the 12th rasgulla, then my said, okay, no, बहुत हो गया, अब इतने से ज्यादा नहीं काम चलेगा. एक ज्यादा होना भी अपने लिए सही नहीं है. Right? This is what the lesson we learn from the Shastras. So similarly, when you attach to the Rasgulla, there should be some boundary. And at the same time, you are getting that one only to satisfy, okay, this much. But now, how you are satisfying? By offering that Rasgulla to the Lord as a prasadam, and eating that prasadam is you are taking the Krishna with you. And you have to identify the how much is good enough. इतने से काफी है, संतुष्टि. So similarly, when we start earning, there should be some way where we need to understand our borderline. What is the best for us, right? So in our this chapter, particularly in the karma yoga, is clearly mentioned that one, when we perform our karma in Krishna consciousness, our consciousness is I'm performing each and every activity for Krishna. How it's possible? Is it impossible when you are in office or things, you can remember Krishna? Definitely is possible.
By
Because
chanting.
by chanting, that is the one. But the chanting in our consciousness in the early morning, when you remember, I don't know how many of you attended the last class from our Rukmini Krishna Prabhu. He is very senior, more than 25 years of practice. He was not just coming from the Brahmachari or Gurukul. He was in the professional life. He was a senior manager in the Bharat Petroleum. But he started in 2000s or before 1999. But the full time in 2004, he joined that process. Then now he's in the path of getting into the sannyasi upadhi, right? In our ISKCON, it's very difficult to become sannyasi because that evaluation period is more than 5 to 10 years. You have to practice for so many years, then you register that I want to become a sannyasi. So sannyasi has to be performed some, like, first of all, the sannyasi has to control his senses. All the senses, they will evaluate and they will see that how you preach this knowledge, how you will connect all the dots from the Prabhupada legacy and spread that Krishna consciousness to others. And the same time, when you preach, you have to practice first. So that sannyasi process in this parampara is not easy. So he is practicing from before the COVID. Now he is about to get the sannyasi thing. But that level of the person, when we are associating with, I think last week that class, what he was emphasizing, that the topic which I picked for him is material problems and spiritual solutions. And the material problem is this is dukhalyam, because dukh is coming from our attachment, our desires, is too much of desires and too much of attachment with small things. We frustrate with the small things. अगर अपने को वो नहीं मिलता है तो हम लोग बिल्कुल bewildered हो जाते हैं, एंग्जाइटी आना शुरू हो जाता है. So how to get rid of that one? This is what he was saying, that you have to practice your chanting very properly, very sincerely. And sometime in the beginning sounds like that, oh, chanting करने से क्या होने वाला है. हाँ, ये वही स्टोरी है, एक एक दादाजी का और नाती का एक कहानी है, छोटा सा, बहुत पहले मैंने बताया था. बट उसमें द थिंग इज, वन ग्रैंडसन ही केम टू हिज ग्रैंडफादर saying that, oh, every day you are chanting, I don't see any difference since I know you. Correct? He was a child, 6 7 year olds. And then he asked him to take this bucket and take it to the river, and can you fill the water? And that bucket was full of that. Then the example and the story was says that that bucket is to keep the coal. हम लोग अंगीठी जलाते थे तो बाहर बकेट में कोल रखते थे ना. So that bucket, and it has a holes also. And he say, okay, can you go to the river and bring that water to me? So he ran away, and by the time he was reaching to the grandfather, the water is all gone. Then he said, okay, try again. So he keep trying. In that process, when he came, eventually, because he was coming a little faster, he got some water. But over that process, grandfather says that, look into that bucket. Is this bucket was the same before? He said, no, it was not the same. It's completely thoroughly clean. But he never realized that when he was going back and forth and filling that water, it was not easy. But over the period, that bucket was thoroughly clean. So similarly, that bucket is compared to our heart. Our heart is from so many birth is become like a black coal iron. And to clean that one, it will take time. And I think few days back, I was giving one example to Brijender, I think in office. If you have a ball of mud or the muddy water in there, if you put some 1 spoon of milk or some clean water in that one, you won't see the difference immediately. But the water is pure, it's still there. So once you start putting the clean water again and again, maybe it will take time. It depending upon the how that ball is muddy, how much कितना गंदगी उसमें जमा हुआ है, उसको time लगेगा. So as soon you will pour the water, eventually you will see that some blurriness. Okay, now I can start seeing that some clarity नजर आ रहा है. So our chanting process is the cleaning process. So when we start pouring more and more our Krishna consciousness and the vibration of the sound, then our heart, which is like a, हम लोग कभी पाइप में देखते हैं ना, कभी पानी बहता रहता है, पानी तो अच्छा है पर उसके परत में काला काला जम जाता है, लाइक मोल्ड भी आ जाता है कभी, है ना. तो बट इफ यू sincerely chant, then what will happen? that parat, that black thing, that filthy thing will clean up. So our process, what Prabhuji was mentioning the last week, is our material problem is only be in the solution is we have to have that Krishna consciousness. We have to read our literatures where you will get the intelligence and the knowledge from the Shastras so that you can implement. So similarly, this karma yoga, this human form is very, very rare, right? That is the good part is at least we are in this human form. We can understand what we are talking about from the Shastras. So we need to implement. And the Prabhupada also mentioned in that karma yoga, if you don't take this one in this birth, eventually after many, many births, you have to take. Krishna will give you the opportunity. In our life, we will get opportunity to get this knowledge. But if you don't take seriously, then our life will be miserable. And अभी भी कौन सा बहुत अच्छा नहीं हो रहा है, मिजरेबल ही है, मिजरीज तो आ ही रही हैं, correct? But the thing is, once you start taking, you will start seeing the difference. And these are not only my words, okay, Leela Krishna Prabhu, आप ही बोलते रहे, मैंने कहीं नहीं. This every acharya in that parampara, if you go there, they will ask you about the same thing. Because this name, this the sound vibration of Hare Krishna Mahamantra is not simple. Each and every syllables of that word is the power of the Krishna. This is the energy of Krishna is integrated inside that one. Krishna himself is standing in front of you and you are chanting the name of Krishna, they both are equal. There is no difference. Krishna says this in the Bhagavad Gita. My name and my fame and my personal form is all equal. Correct? So let's read 2 or 3 shlokas from this uh, chapter and then we will take it. So let's read from chapter 5. I will read the translation only. Chapter 5, one who know the positions reached by mean of analytical study can also be attained by devotional service, and who therefore sees the analytical study and the devotional service to be at the same level, see things as they are. And Krishna, what he's trying to see that we are mostly, when we say the we is, we more focus on the gyan, just taking the gyan, but the vigyan is the implementation part. We never much emphasize on the implementation part. We gather everything, we recite all the shlokas and everything, but when the implementation part will come, we will say, no, no, apne paas to time hi nahi hai. We are lack of time. Correct? So, but the Krishna, what he is mentioning is the both from the analytical study and from the devotion service, both will be on the same level as they are. Because once you will take this knowledge and practice it, and when you start doing the devotion service, both will come at the same platform. Text number 6, merely renouncing all the activity yet not engaging in the devotion service of the Lord cannot make one happy. But a thoughtful person engaged in the devotional service can achieve the supreme without delay. So let's read the purport, what Prabhupada wants to say in this one, shlok number 6. And the purport, there are 2 classes of sannyasis or the person in the renounced order of life. The Mayavadi sannyasi are engaged in the study of Sankhya philosophy, whereas the Vaishnava sannyasi are engaged in the study of Bhagavatam philosophy, which afford the proper commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. The Mayavadi sannyasi also study the Vedanta Sutra but use their own commentaries called the Sariraka Bhasya, written by the Shankaracharya. The student of the Bhagavad school are engaged in the devotional service of the Lord according to the Pancharatri key regulations, and therefore the Vaishnava sannyasi have multiple engagements in the transcendental service of the Lord. The Vaishnava sannyasis have nothing to do with the material activities, and yet they perform the various activity in their devotional service to the Lord. But the Mayavadi sannyasi engaged in the study of the Sankhya and Vedanta and the speculations cannot relish the transcendental service of the Lord because their study become very tedious. They sometimes become tired of Brahman speculations. Thus, they take the shelter of the Bhagavatam without the proper understanding. Consequently, their study of the Srimad Bhagavatam become troublesome. Dry speculations and impersonal interpretations by artificial means are all useless for the Mayavadi sannyasi. The Vaishnava sannyasi who are engaged in the devotional service are happy in the discharge of their transcendental duties. They have to guarantee of ultimate entrance into the kingdom of God. The Mayavadi sannyasis sometimes fall down from the path of the self-realizations and again into the material activity of the philanthropy and altruistic nature, which are nothing but material engagements. Therefore, the conclusion is that there who are engaged in the Krishna consciousness activity are better situated in the sannyasi engaged in the simple speculations about what is the Brahman and what is not Brahman, although they too come to the Krishna consciousness after many births. So nicely Prabhupada mentioned there are the two type of, now we are talking about the sannyasis. One is in the mode of consciousness of to serve Lord. And another Mayavadi sannyasi is they are going through analytical study, going through the Shastra, the Vedanta and things, but they will do the speculations. They will add their own uh, con- conclusions that, okay, this is what my understanding. Then what will happen after so many birth, because they have to come back to the material thing, but Krishna gave, and the Prabhupada mentioned, but they will come into the Krishna consciousness after many, many birth. But the sannyasi who follow the devotional service, they are fully engaged, situated, and they are renounced in this life. कभी ये सवाल आता है कि हमें पूरा मोक्ष प्राप्त करने के लिए मरने की जरूरत है क्या? Do I need to give this life to get the liberation? And this paragraph is clearly mentioned, and the Prabhupada repeated in few other places also, that is not necessary. You can be renounced in this life by detachment. The sannyasi is control of full of his senses and he is not attached to anything. तो इसका मतलब है क्या मुझे सन्यासी बनने की जरूरत है? नहीं, it's not recommended. You are in the grahastha life also, you can become and behave like a sannyasi once you start detached from this material activity. जब बच्चा born होता है, born होने से पहले he was spent some time in the mother womb. There, do you think that he was enjoying there? Oh, कुछ काम तो करना नहीं पड़ रहा, खाना तो मिल ही रहा है. What Shastra says? It says that he was suffering. He was having nightmare there. Because Bhagavan will remind him all his birth that you are going through this pain and pain and pain. And when he born, what do you think? What he will do? Immediately what he will do?
Start
He
crying.
cry. If he don't cry, doctor थप्पड़ मार के भी रुलाते हैं.
Correct.
तो भाई रो रहा क्यों नहीं है ये? तो हमारी जो स्थिति है, the our situation is right now is when we take a born, I don't think so. I saw anyone who is laughing, oh ha ha करके हंस रहा हो. कभी तो देखा नहीं हम लोगों ने. Everyone has to cry because he remember in the womb the child will beg and he will give his vow. He will promise to his mother that I am not going to repeat this mistake again. But once he will come out and associate with these material activities, he forgot that what he promised, forgot that what he remember, because Krishna says that I will give you the remembrance and I will give you the forgetfulness in chapter 15. But once he will come out, he is child. We know that ये भगवान का ही रूप है, हम लोग ये मानते हैं, correct? Because Krishna gave him the right birth based on his activities and the karmas. But he promised to his mother. Then after he promised to his guru, he promised to his teacher, promised to everyone that I'm not going to repeat. But what will happen? As soon he will the material contamination से जुड़ता है, तो क्या होता है? उसको वो सब भूल जाता है. He forgot what he promised. Then he will get into the same karma bandhan, going through the same cycle again and again, and he again leave the body. When he was leaving the body, what he will do? Cry again. भाई मुझे
Right.
ये सब छोड़ के जाना है. शुरू में भी रो रहा था, आखिरी में भी रो रहा था, but in between he was trying to get hold of everything. That attachment is there. Along with his performing the duties, he is attached to so many things. And that attachment causes him suffering, causes him to fall down many times. In between, now the what the prayer we say, right? ओम अज्ञान तिमिरंधस्य, जो गुरु है वो हमारे इस अंधेरे में हमारे को वो लाइट दे रहे हैं, वो टॉर्च, द नॉलेज का जो ज्ञान है वो हमें दे रहे हैं, so that we can open our eyes. Right now we are blind. We know that I'm open and I'm seeing this one, but these are the material things I'm looking. We have to open our spiritual eyes, look from the different angle what the Shastra says, and then take the benefit of this human form. आपने देखा कोई जानवर पैदा होते ही रोता है? कभी सोचा है कि इंसान ही पैदा होते ही रोता है बट जानवर नहीं रो रहा है? देयर इज अ रीजन, बिकॉज द ह्यूमन फॉर्म इज रेयर. ही डजंट वांट टू कम आउट ऑफ हिज वूम. Sukdev Goswami was in his mother womb for 16 years. He doesn't want to come out. He's know that this is the problem. I'm getting into this world is the problem. I want to mean the always in the Goloka Dham with my Lord. He doesn't want to come out, right? So because we are not that kind of a powerful personality. Sukadev Goswami and Ved Vyas, they are some incarnations and planetary expansions of the Lord himself. But we are not that fortunate. We are just anshay hai. We are part and parcel of Lord, but we are a one tuch, one spirit soul. We have to come out. But when we are coming out, we are crying that I don't want to come out of this world. In the womb of the mother was bitten by small bacteria. He is having the painful thing. And the child will cry inside the womb also. You know that? He cry there. He has lot of suffering. He remember all his past thing. Then when he come out, then he say, okay, I promise I'm not going to repeat this. But the material and this Maya is so strong that we have to be very, very careful. If we attach to these things, then sure we will fall down. So now the point of the discussion is how we can perform our duties. So to performing the duties is to engage in the Krishna consciousness. And slowly once you engaging, when you start reading the Shastras, when you start chanting, when you eating only the prasadam, slowly from the inside, Krishna will help. Why is he's helping? Because our heart is become pure and pure. Then you realize that one, these all the Maya things in material world is like a flashing lights, is attracting me. But we forgot our original identity and forgot our Krishna consciousness thing. And which we promise to Krishna that, oh, this birth I'm going to use for taking very seriously and I don't want to come back. But we forgot our real identity here. So to do that one, we have to learn these things, how we can practice. And the practice start in the morning Murat Kal. So my request to everyone, if you are chanting, that's good. Double your chanting. If you're chanting one round, make it as a two. You will start seeing that the coal, the bucket, which is completely black from many, many years, you will start seeing some light there, some cleanliness there, right? One practical example, most of the time, you are entering into the some house. It's happened that so much of a smell, sometimes हम लोग note करते हैं, right? And so much of everything is सब जगह सामान फैला पड़ा हुआ है, सब गंदगी बिखरी है, किचन साफ नहीं है, ये है. You went there just to meet that person. As soon you enter, you start thinking that, oh, I have to come out. But you already went there, you will be stay for a few minutes and things. But in your mind, you always think that, oh, I have to come. Now think that your heart is the same. Do you think that Krishna will come and sit there as a Paramatma? He is thinking that he is so filthy place. My lust, anger, greed is there. How he is going to sit there? He will come, immediately leave. But he is still guiding us. He's still giving the opportunity to meet different devotees. He is giving still opportunity to read Bhagavad Gita. He is still giving the opportunity so that you will have enough money. He is still helping. But as a human form, we are so foolish. I'm so foolish person that I don't want to take that advantage. Right? So reading somewhere, as in this purport also, Prabhupada says that after many, many birth, he will take the Krishna consciousness. Maybe let's make this is my last birth. Committed. Okay, this is my last. But done. I'm not going to come back again. But there is no loss also, right? At least try, give your efforts. हम लोग correct? अब when we were giving the same lecture to the kids also, they won't understand much. They are in their prime, the teenage mindset, right? They were saying, okay, we all are flying now. This life is enjoying. They're teen people, right? So, but I know that after certain years, after some years, when they will go to the college and when they will see the reality, they will say, oh, this is not the same as teen. Oh, there are a lot of struggle, there are a lot of challenges. So then they will start saying, okay, I need someone who can guide me. As soon they will start thinking inside the Paramatma, Paramatma will connect that person to the other person. If he will immediately take that knowledge and get into that process, life becomes so peaceful. Correct? So that is important. So let's read one more shloka and then we will conclude. So shloka number 7, the one who work in devotion, who is pure soul and who control his mind and sense is dear to everyone. Everyone is dear to him. Though always working, such a man is never entangled. So nice. Krishna is talking about the pure soul kaun hai, who is in the working in devotion, who can control his mind and senses, and who is always dear to everyone. Everyone is dear to him, though always working. Keep a note, he was not saying that he's not working, he's working. Such men never entangle. What do you mean by entangle is entangle in this material world. In this भूलोक में हम लोग attach नहीं होंगे. We are not attaching. The person has to be working in devotion at the same time he's working. So Krishna is telling Arjuna that you should fight at the same time remember me. So we have to go to the office, we have to earn money, bring everything, food chahiye, बच्चों को खिलाना. Everything is necessary, but at the same time, our consciousness is everything what I'm doing is for to make my devotional life successful. But now अपना consciousness वो नहीं है. As soon we will have more money, we will start thinking of our sense gratifications. That is the things which will bring us little bit down. So we need to be very, very careful because this Maya is so strong. He will pull you down immediately. And this Maya, he will try not every year, once a year, na aisa nahi hai. Every second he will try. As soon he will try to forget the Krishna, the Maya will grab you. This is our realistic of this Kali Yuga. When we are in the boat, right? Uh, let's say you are with some devotees and the guru and you are in the boat. And when you go into the boat, what will happen? You are crossing that ocean. The ocean will have lot of ups and downs. You are not going to just jump into the ocean. If you want to successful cross, what you are going to do is you will take the help of all the devotees. Just hold on to that one. The boat will go ups and down. But when you are together with the devotees, you can easily cross. So that the waves of the oceans are our Maya. They will try you by each and every second. But you should be very strong enough. That happen only by your sadhana. Your devotion has to be so powerful. Okay. So with that, let's pause here.